It's good to talk about social inclusion of refugees. I guess it would be even better to let them leave. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Since October 4th, the Aquarius stands still in Marseille. The 77-meter survey vessel, chartered by two NGOs, SOS Méditerranée and MSF, to conduct search and rescue operations in the Mediterranean, is unable to operate since it's been stripped of its flag by the state of Panama, early October. It will remain docked for a few weeks at least, while the ship owner and the two operatives strive to get a new flag for the ship. The Aquarius rescued close to 30,000 people since the launch of its operation. 30,000 people, many of whom would have probably died without search and rescue capacity in the Mediterranean. Since the Aquarius and as many as 10 other search and rescue vessels started operating in 2015 in the Mediterranean, the landscape has considerably changed. Once a welcome, politically and publicly legitimate enterprise, search and rescue is now under attack on many fronts. Search and rescue capacity is now extremely limited. In July 2017, the Italian government issued a code of conduct aimed at limiting drastically the deployment of search and rescue operations. A year later, Matteo Salvini, the new Italian Minister of Interior, blocked the access of its ports to the rescue ships, while the French President Emmanuel Macron stated that SAR NGOs colluded with smugglers. In the meantime, most of search and rescue ships had been sequestered for pseudo-legal or administrative reasons, leaving no more than 0 or 1 operating at any given time. SAR ships have been attacked, assaulted by the Libyan Coast Guards. The premises of search and rescue organizations have been attacked by nationalist groups in the south of France recently. Organizations have been prosecuted in Italy, in Malta, in Greece, amidst a discourse of fear fed by European authorities and lawmakers. International maritime law is violated daily. As a result, mortality at sea has reached unprecedented heights. For what we know, in 2018, more than 1,800 people drowned, a figure that is very likely underestimated. More than 15,000 people have died over the last 4 years, attempting to cross the sea. As a result of EU policy to block search and rescue and promote and support Libyan Coast Guards, in September, only 1 in 10 people of those who attempted the sea crossing made it to Europe. 7 in 10 were caught and brought back, and 1 in 5 died or went missing. In the past 4 months of total deterrence at sea, the risk of death for migrants departing from Libya climbed to 6.8%. This is more than triple the risk in the period 2014-2017. For the first time, in September, the number of people intercepted by the so-called Libyan Coast Guards and sent back to the Libyan hell they are trying to escape was higher than the number of persons rescued and brought to safety in Europe. We know of the collusion of some of the EU-funded Libyan Coast Guards with the traffickers. They are often the same. Make no mistake, people who seek to leave Libya don't really have a choice. The lucky ones are detained in official detention centers, where detention conditions are abysmal and violence routine. People die in these centers. Most are detained in underground prisons, where they're tortured and ransomed. The stories we hear from these people in Libya, where we try to provide some support and assistance, or at sea, or in Italy, or in France, or in Niger, are absolutely horrifying. Many are asylum seekers from Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia, recognized by the UNHCR. Others are men and women who made an incredibly courageous choice to leave everything behind with the hope of building a better life. All of them are stuck, locked behind a wall, the result of the deadly cooperation between African and European countries. Many more have died en route in the desert, swallowed by the sand, largely unnoticed, at a pace following that of EU arrangements with countries of origin or of transit. The day before yesterday, on Wednesday, a Somali man returned to Libya by the Libyan Coast Guard, set himself on fire after telling friends he had lost all hope of being relocated to a safe country. I'd like to ask, what is the name of the Aquarius? The Aquarius is the name of Europe's failure to put human decency and people's lives above border control. The Aquarius is the name of EU government's responsibility for many lives lost and plenty endangered. It is the name of EU attempt to block humanitarian assistance without offering any alternative to the sea crossing or to its never-ending quest to remove any witness of what is happening at sea. The Aquarius is also the name of a camp in Greece, located on the island of Lesbos, Moria it's called, where more than 10,000 people are stranded with no perspective in sight, nowhere to go, at the mercy of violence and traffickers. It is the name of EU refusal to confront the reality of world mobility, to deal with it in all its complexity, to refuse the spreading of lies and of a deadly ideology. Yet the Aquarius is also the name of European solidarity. It is the name of all humanitarian groups and volunteers trying to save lives at sea and provide assistance to undocumented migrants, all those vilified by EU leaders and being called human traffickers. It is the name of the city of Valencia, Spain, a city which opened its port last June, when the Aquarius, carrying 630 migrants rescued on board, was left wandering at sea, following Italy's closure. The Aquarius is the name of all good-willing initiatives. It is the name of all of those refusing the sacrifice of thousands. It is the name of the solidarity and humanity that inspire you all. We must oppose those deadly politics. We must find a flag for the Aquarius. Condemned to drown at sea or be locked up in Libya is not a choice. Thank you.